So what if I told you we could create one of the most critical ingredients for our entire food system? I'm talking about fertilizer, literally out of thin air. Well, today we're looking at a company called Algaenite that's doing just that. They've developed this incredible biological platform, and we're going to break down exactly how they're pulling it off.
Okay, let's just start with this one big question. I mean, think about it. Our entire agricultural system basically runs on fossil fuels, from the tractors plowing the fields all the way to how we make our fertilizers. It's a massive dependency, and it's a problem that a company like Algaenite is trying to solve head-on.
Right, let's get into the core problem here. Modern farming is kind of stuck in this cycle of chemical dependence. And yeah, a lot of that is tied directly to fossil fuels. This puts farmers in a really tough spot, you know? They want to be more sustainable, but they just can't risk their crop yields and their livelihoods to do it. And this is where you see the real gap in the market. See, chemical fertilizers are liquids designed to work perfectly with all the advanced irrigation systems we have today. But the organic alternatives? Most of them are solids. That means you can't inject them through drip irrigation. And the biggest deal breaker? They often lead to a serious drop in how much food you can actually grow.
And we're not talking about a small drop here. When farmers switch to many of the organic fertilizers out there today, they're risking a harvest that's anywhere from 13 to 34% smaller. That is a massive financial hit. For many, it's literally the difference between making a profit and going out of business. It's this exact trade-off that's been holding back sustainable farming for years.
But what if that trade-off just wasn't necessary anymore? Algaenite believes they found the solution, and it all comes from this truly remarkable microscopic organism. So let's dive into the science.
Everybody, meet the hero of our story, cyanobacteria. These little guys are basically nature's ultimate multitaskers. Just like plants, they do photosynthesis, which means they pull carbon dioxide out of the air. But they also have this incredible superpower. They can grab nitrogen, which is 78% of the air we breathe, and turn it into something plants can use.
So, how does Algaenite put these little powerhouses to work? Well, it's a beautifully elegant three-step cycle. Step 1, the cyanobacteria capture CO2 from the air using sunlight. Step 2, at the same time, they're pulling in nitrogen. And the result of all this? They produce biological liquid ammonia, a perfect, ready-to-use nutrient for plants.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. What they've created is a fully liquid, totally organic fertilizer that works with all the existing farm equipment. As of right now, there's nothing else like it on the market. It's the missing piece of the puzzle we were just talking about.
Now, you can imagine a technology this powerful could be used for a lot more than just fertilizer. But Algaenite is being really strategic about how they go to market. And honestly, it's a brilliant lesson in how to launch a business.
So, you're probably thinking, hey, wait a minute, couldn't this tech be used to make stuff like alternative proteins? And you'd be 100% right. That is a huge long-term goal for them. So the question is, why start with fertilizer?
Well, here's the thinking behind their fertilizer-first strategy. For one, it gets them to market way faster, which means they can start generating revenue sooner. It also lowers the technological risk, because making fertilizer is a simpler process. And crucially, it allows them to prove that their technology works at an industrial scale. It's all about building a rock-solid foundation before they go after even bigger markets.
And this quote right here, it just nails the core value proposition. The two most important words are yield parity. It means that for the first time, farmers don't have to choose between being sustainable and being productive. They get both. And for a certified organic product that performs just as well as the chemical stuff, you bet they're willing to pay a premium. Okay, so the science is solid, and the business strategy makes a ton of sense. But how does Algaenite actually plan to get this amazing product out of the lab and onto the farm? Well, they've got this really clever two-pronged approach for how they'll make and distribute it.
Their plan is super flexible. Model 1 is all about big, centralized production plants, probably in sunny regions, that can serve a huge market. But Model 2 is way more decentralized. They can install smaller, automated units right there on the farm. This creates an on-demand supply chain, it slashes logistics costs, and it gives farmers way more control and resilience. Pretty smart.
But the big question is always, does the math actually work? So let's run the numbers real quick on one of their big, centralized facilities.
All right, to get one of these 2.5 hectare plants up and running, you're looking at an initial investment, the capital expenditure, of around $6 million. But here's the thing, because this is such a unique, high-value organic product, they can command a premium price. The projection is somewhere between $2.50 and $3 per liter.
And here is the bottom line. At that price point, the return on investment for just one of these plants is a really healthy 20 to 36%. Now that is a compelling business case that's going to get a lot of people excited about building more of these.
So let's just zoom out for a second. What we're looking at here is so much more than just a new product. This could be a total reimagining of a fundamental piece of our food system. And it's an idea that's already getting some serious validation.
And I mean serious validation. Algaenite managed to secure a €2.5 million award from the EU's Horizon 2020 program. For those who don't know, that is one of the most competitive and prestigious innovation funds on the planet. This is a massive vote of confidence, not just in the tech, but in the team's ability to actually make this vision a reality.
And that brings us right back to where we started. As we face these huge challenges in modern agriculture, the fossil fuel addiction, the environmental impact, it's pretty amazing to think about. The solution might not be some bigger, more complicated machine. The answer might just come from harnessing the incredible, untapped power of some of the smallest organisms on Earth.